Hello guys, it is your girl Randy and I'm back with another video, and I hope you guys have all been well. I have been amazing. I was actually just sitting here doing some work and just studying my Bible as Holy Spirit had nudged me, and I just wanted to give this word to you guys just as a reminder in case there's anyone who is struggling or basically going through this right now. I actually have, as I have been away, before I give you guys the word, I have been on an amazing journey with the Father that I have actually been documenting, so I will, once the time is right, I will share that all with you, and the journey and just things that been going on and what I've been doing during this time that I have been away. I have been documenting it. I wouldn't say it was so recent, but I made a decision that to the world would be, in the world's eyes, absolutely insane and crazy, but I know that it was something that God wanted me to do. So stepping out on crazy faith right now, and I can't wait to upload all of the videos that I have made for you guys documenting my journey and just everything that's been going on. But I did want to put out this message that I have for you guys regarding strength and weakness. And so Holy Spirit had nudged me, and he took me to Hosea 12:3. And any of you guys who knows me, you know that I am a huge advocate for knowledge, and I love the book of Hosea. That's like literally, if you know me, you know that Hosea 4:6 is my favorite Bible verse. Like, that's my favorite Bible verse. In all things, like, my people are not destroyed for lack of knowledge, or my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because they rejected knowledge. So I think knowledge is so important. And so I'm always trying to learn and striving to always gain understanding, wisdom, and knowledge, and most importantly, understanding. But knowledge, I believe all three of them go hand in hand together. I've spoken about this before, I've told you guys about this, but ultimately, in the book of Hosea 12:3, it specifically talks about, which I'll read it to you guys here shortly. It's talking about Jacob and how Jacob was, while his mother Rebecca was pregnant with him and Esau, how he literally was like hanging on to his brother's heels. He hung on to his brother's heels, the heels of his feet. Esau's older, the older brother, and Jacob's the younger. And so even in the womb, like, the Bible talks about how Rebecca could feel like them moving around in the womb. And I spoke to you guys about pregnant with purpose and someone getting ready to birth something and babies and things like that. And so it may not necessarily be a physical baby, it may just be your purpose or something within you that God is bringing out of you. And so when Rebecca was pregnant, she basically could feel Esau and Jacob fighting and just moving around in her womb. And the Bible talks about how when Jacob and Esau was in the womb, how Jacob literally was like holding on to Esau's heels, almost as if he was like trying to draw him back in, trying to pull him back in, so that he couldn't come out, so that he couldn't be birthed, so that he couldn't accomplish what he was supposed to accomplish, which ultimately, this is just going off kind of subject where I was going to go with this, but I believe this is important, is that Esau and Jacob, it's significant because they're two kingdoms. If you don't know that, they're two separate kingdoms. And so the Bible talks about how he loved Jacob but hated Esau, even though Esau was basically the real one who was supposed to get the birthright, but he didn't end up getting the birthright. Jacob did, because he stole it, but Esau basically gave it away for food, basically. And so that I can go into more details about the significance of food and why it's so important, and why God's always talking about food and the bread of life and how he is the bread of life. But ultimately, there's going to be people who are going to try to steal your birthrights. There's going to be people who are going to try to steal your destiny. There's going to be people who are ultimately going to give their birthright away, or who's going to give away the purpose that God had planted inside of them because of whatever that reason may be. But it's important to not allow yourself to be drawn back, and it's important to not give up what rightfully belongs to you, your inheritance. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is it also talks about how Jacob struggled in his strength. Paul, he also struggled in his strength. And so sometimes when you're set up on a high position, or when you have all of this authority that you've been given, you tend to struggle with your strength, because sometimes you have to be reminded of where your strength comes from. And so sometimes God will have to put you or place you in a position to where you understand that your strength is made perfect in weakness. And so the Holy Spirit can then be strong for you. So then at that point in time, you have no choice or no option but to rely on God. Because if you continue to be in the same position where you were at, where you knew or you know that you can do certain things, you know what you are capable of, what's inside of you, it can put you in a place of not relying or depending on God. And so I just want to encourage you that quite a few messages here. If you are in a position to where you need to bring yourself down, whether God is doing that or whether you're choosing to do that yourself. Paul even talks about, it was better that I be afflicted. It was better that I had the thorn in my flesh. It was better, when I was at this place, because it humbled me. It showed me to depend on God. It built my relationship with him. I was able to have true intimacy with him during that time. So just know that it's not in vain. It's not in vain. And don't let anyone draw you back. Don't give up your birthright. Don't give up what God has birthed and placed inside of you. And most importantly, don't feel bad if you choose to step down from a position, or God even takes you out of a position. But if you step down, whichever one you choose to do, ultimately just continue to put your faith, trust in God, and depend on him. And don't allow anything to lead you to the left or to the right, but to just depend fully on Heavenly Father. And so I want to read you guys the Bible verse. Almost forgot. Hosea 12:3. And so it says, he took his brother by the heel in the womb, and in his strength he struggled with God. And so that's what I was talking to you guys about, how he basically was trying to pull him back in, and he took him by the heel while they were in the womb. That was just like a bomb drop. Wow. even in the womb. Like, when God says, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb, like, it's just so significant. He knew everything about you. He knew your character. He knew how you was going to act. Like, he's literally talking about them before they were even birthed, what he was going to do, what was inside of that seed. Like, the mysteries of the Lord and in the Bible are just so amazing to me. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. But I pray that this message blessed you in some type of way, shape, or form, whoever this is for. And I love you guys. Be blessed, and I'll be back with another video. Elohim willing. Bye, guys.